Welcome to SCBWI Carolina's Book Fairies First Look. I'm your host, Mickey Bear. Today, I'm excited to welcome back children's author Dorothy H. Price. Dorothy is a writer, author, and former English teacher. Her first picture book, Nana's Favorite Things, was published in 2016 by iFrig Publishing. In 2019, she was selected for the We Need Diverse Books Mentorship Program. Her 8 chapter books in the Jalen's Big City Life series were published in 2022 and 2023 by Capstone Publishing. She is also a 2023-24 Baldwin for the Arts Fellow. Her latest picture book, Daddy Daughter Day, was released May 6th by Raycraft Books. Welcome back, Dorothy.
Thank you, Mickey. I'm so happy to be back.
And it's so great to have you here and celebrate your latest release. Before we begin, let me give everyone a quick overview of Daddy Daughter Day. It's Saturday, and that means it's time for the Daddy Daughter Day surprise, a bus ride into New York City. Instead of the usual sights, the duo hops on a subway to Harlem and walks to a building across the street from where Daddy was born, the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, a national landmark. There, Daddy introduces his little girl to important people from the past, Katherine Johnson, Wilma Rudolph, Ruby Bridges, and more. The girl's memorable day ends with a sense of pride and something even better, a snuggle hug. Dorothy, I love that the story is from the daughter's point of view. And of course, the illustrations are beautiful. So this picture book is such a creative and warm way to introduce and highlight important history. What was the inspiration behind this story?
So honestly, this was a memory that I had since childhood. I would go to New York with my dad. It was like our weekend excursions, the two of us. We would get on the bus. This is taken from the point of view when I lived closest to New York in Paterson, New Jersey. So we would hop on the bus, we would do all of those things that are in the book, literally all of those things. And it was that memory plus being at the Schomburg. So they're kind of like intertwined. I kind of mixed and matched, but I always remember that visit to the Schomburg, and that just, it was in my mind for years and years and years, and it just wouldn't leave. And in 2017, I finally just decided to write it, get it out of my head, and that's where we began, and now we're here with the actual completed book.
Wow, that is such a neat memory and story. So, what was this story's publication path? Like, how did you get from this thing in your head all the way to it's published?
Yeah, it was a journey. I finally wrote this in 2017, but the path to publication took a few years. So in 2021, I believe it was, we submitted it to Capstone Publishing and they passed on it, which was, it was a bummer. I was a bit sad, but that actually opened the door to the Jalen's Big City Life series. So they passed on this, and then they actually were interested or wanted me to know if I was interested in that series. So Daddy Daughter Day went back down. It kind of went to sleep for a little bit. And I was on a call with some writers, and Winsome Bingham was on that call. And she said that she was open to receiving new manuscripts if anyone was interested in sending her stories. And I immediately thought of Daddy Daughter Day. And so I sent it to her. I didn't hear anything back. It was probably like November, I think, of 21. Didn't hear back from her until January. It was like very early in the year, 2022. And she emailed and said, I love this story. I think it's great. I would love to work with you. And she's at Raycraft. So that's really how the story came to be. It sat for a little while, and then after I sent it to Winsome, she was interested.
Nice. Well, one of the things that I noticed was the warmth you get from the illustrations. Were you familiar with Brian Wilson's artwork before this book?
No, I did not know Brian. I had not crossed paths with Brian, but ironically, we have some things in common. He's originally from New Jersey, and after I started kind of knowing who he was, and we have some people in the same circles, he's in Charlotte. he lives in Charlotte. So it was like all of a sudden, all of these different people we know started coming out, but I had not known about Brian, and I still have not met Brian actually, even though we're both in Charlotte. We do plan to meet this month, but yeah, we did not have anything in connection before this picture book.
Getting back to the story, are there any other picture books about the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture?
So, to my knowledge, there were none. And of course, after I wrote the story in 2017, I literally wrote this story. Carol Boston Weatherford came out with a picture book that was great for reference, Schomburg, and I actually have it here, Schomburg, the man who built a library. And this was a great reference. It's a great picture book, lots of history, lots of information in there. So I really was able to use that as a reference just in the editing and just tweaking different things as the story, grew from when I wrote it to publication. There may be some others, but to my knowledge, that's the most familiar one that I know about.
Tell me, do you have any upcoming events?
I do. So May is it's a bit busy. So yesterday was publication day. I was at a school visit, which went really well with some high school kids. So it was really nice to be back in the high school setting. And Brian and I actually have an event May 24th at the University City Library. So we're going to be, it's an author illustrator conversation. So that is open on the 24th, and that's from 12, or actually that's from 3 to 4:45. And then June 7th is when we actually have our book signing, and Brian will be there as well. So we're collaborating on that June 7th at That's Novel Books. That is from 12 to 3 p.m. And then I will actually be in New York on June 14th at the Schomburg because it's actually their centennial. So yes, the Schomburg Literary Festival will be that weekend. So I'll be there to celebrate with them for that event. And then lastly, that I have planned so far is ALA. So I will be at ALA the end of June. So that's my first time being there. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, I was going to ask if Brian's going to be at any of these. I think it's so cool to have you both together and be able to talk about those things because I'm sure that there was inspiration both ways for you both as the book developed and it was produced.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited that he can be here and join me on that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So, what's next for you in regards to your writing? Can you tell us about any upcoming projects?
Right now, I'm working on some new picture books, two new picture books that came to me a few months ago that are in progress, almost done. I still have my middle grade that I am revising and continue to revise. But that's about it for right now. Just really trying to get those picture books done and then finally get back to my novel.
And I mean, I know it's busy right now with all of the events and everything, but yeah, it's good to know that you've got more stuff coming up. And of course, we want to stay in touch. What is the best way to stay up to date with your publications, events, and all of that?
So I've done a lot of work editing my website. So dorothyhprice.com is probably the best and most up to date for information on events and things that are coming soon. But on social media, I am on Instagram at DHP Writes. So that's also another place where you can find me.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Dorothy, and congratulations again on your latest release, Daddy Daughter Day.
Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate it.